Have you ever lain awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why it feels like you're always a few steps behind everyone else? You work hard, you try. You push through the exhaustion, you check the boxes, wake up early, keep your head down, do what's expected. But still, you're not where you thought you'd be. And it hurts, doesn't it? You see people around you, same age, same background, somehow further along. They're getting promoted. They're building their lives. They're glowing with the kind of peace you're still chasing. And all the while, you're quietly wondering, what's wrong with me? You scroll through your feed and watch others share wins you've never tasted. That friend who suddenly started a business that took off. The classmate who travels the world, never seeming to worry about rent. The coworker who has it all together. Smooth words, confident walk, even a car that doesn't wheeze at traffic lights. And you feel like you're on a treadmill, running hard, sweating buckets, but staying in the same spot. You tell yourself to be grateful, and you are, but there's a hollow ache you can't quite shake. It's not jealousy, it's longing. Longing for progress, for clarity, for something to finally click. Some days, you push yourself harder. Other days, you can barely get out of bed. You tell people you're okay, but deep down, you're carrying this invisible weight, a kind of quiet burnout that doesn't look like falling apart. It looks like smiling when you don't mean it, working when you're not inspired, and hoping things will change, even though nothing has for a long time. And maybe that's the part that scares you the most, because you've tried before. You've made vision boards, read books, set goals. You've followed advice from people who said, just work harder, or think positive. But nothing changed in the way you truly needed. So now you're stuck in this strange place. You're not failing, but you're not winning either. You're surviving. And honestly, you're starting to wonder if this is all life has to offer you. To keep showing up, keep trying, and keep falling behind. But here's the truth you haven't told anyone. You're tired of pretending this is enough. You want more. You deserve more. But maybe, just maybe, what you're missing isn't more effort. Maybe it's something else entirely, something no one ever taught you, something hiding right in plain sight. You've been taught that hard work is the answer to everything, that if you just grind harder, stay later, sleep less, success will catch up. But what no one ever told you, what most people still don't understand, is that effort alone is not a strategy. Effort is a tool. Direction is the map. Think about it. How many times have you worked yourself to the bone, only to realize you were climbing the wrong ladder? You weren't lazy. You weren't undisciplined. You were simply running full speed into a wall you didn't know was there. That's what no one tells you about falling behind. It doesn't always happen because you didn't try. Sometimes it happens because you were trying in the wrong way, for the wrong reasons, toward a goal that was never even yours to begin with. You grew up with expectations layered onto your shoulders like weights. Be responsible. Be smart. Be successful, get a stable job, follow the rules, do what's safe, make your parents proud, don't screw it up. So you chose what seemed right. You followed the right path. You sacrificed your dreams in the name of security. And now that you've done everything right, you're left with a quiet kind of emptiness no one warned you about. Maybe you studied a major you never liked. Maybe you took a job that was good on paper. Maybe you said yes to things you should have said no to, just to not disappoint others. And now you're sitting in a life you don't even recognize as yours. No wonder you're exhausted. No wonder you keep falling behind. How can you move forward when every step you take is in a direction you never truly chose? It's not about laziness. It's about misalignment. And here's another hard truth. You're living in a world that doesn't slow down. Everything's optimized, hyper-connected, loud, demanding. You're expected to be reachable 247, constantly upgrading yourself. Hustling, learning, networking, proving, and in all that noise, you lost your own voice. You forgot what it feels like to be still, to ask yourself what you really want, without the pressure of expectations, comparison, or fear. You forgot how to trust your own timing, how to build a life around your rhythm, not someone else's highlight reel. And maybe that's the true reason you feel like you're falling behind. Because deep down, you're measuring your life against someone else's story. You're comparing your chapter 3 to someone's chapter 20 and wondering why your sentences don't sound as polished. But you are not behind. You are just not aligned yet. And alignment is not something you stumble into by accident. It's something you create deliberately, patiently, and with incredible honesty. That's the part no one talks about. The missing piece, the quiet realization that success isn't a race, it's a path, and the only way to stop falling behind is to start walking your way forward. So what now? You're probably thinking, okay, I get it. I'm not lazy. I'm not broken. I'm just not aligned. But what do I actually do about it? That's the right question, because insight is powerful, but only if it leads to action. And no, I'm not about to tell you to quit your job, move to a new country, or start a six-figure side hustle. That's not real life for most people. You still have bills. You still have responsibilities. You can't just hit reset like a movie character and watch your life transform overnight. But here's what you can do. Start small. Start real. Start now. Let go of the idea that change has to be dramatic to matter. The truth is, the most powerful changes you'll ever make are often invisible at first. They happen quietly, in the dark corners of your daily routine, through the questions you begin asking yourself, the boundaries you start enforcing, the decisions you no longer make out of guilt or fear. The first shift is awareness. Pay attention to the things that drain you, not because they're hard, but because they're hollow. Notice the places in your life where you shrink to fit, the conversations where you silence yourself, the goals that sound impressive but feel meaningless to chase. You don't have to burn it all down. You just have to start listening again. Ask yourself, when was the last time I felt truly alive? What would I pursue if failure wasn't so terrifying? What am I doing only because I'm afraid of what people will think if I stop? These questions won't give you immediate answers, but they'll crack the surface, and that's where the light gets in. Next, take inventory of your energy. Not just time, energy. Who makes you feel seen? What makes you feel heavy? Which activities give you a sense of flow, even if they're hard? You might be surprised at how much of your day is spent trying to push through things that are misaligned. That's not resilience. That's quiet self-abandonment. And you deserve better. Alignment begins where honesty lives. And honesty sounds like, I don't want to do this anymore. This job doesn't fulfill me. I've outgrown this version of myself. I'm scared, but I can't keep living like this. After awareness and energy comes permission. Permission to pivot, to redefine what success looks like for you, to want something different from what you used to want, to not have it all figured out, to take up space in your own life without apologizing for it. Give yourself permission to stop chasing timelines that were never meant for you. Your life is not late. Your growth is not slow. Your purpose is not lost. You're not behind. You're building, quietly, stubbornly, bravely. Now, choose one thing, just one, something small but honest, something that moves you half a step closer to who you really are. It could be a habit, a boundary, a conversation, a new morning routine, a different way of responding to that one friend who always drains you, a notebook you keep by your bed to write the truth you're not ready to say out loud yet. One thing. Today, that's it. And tomorrow, one more. This isn't about becoming a whole new person overnight. It's about becoming more of yourself. Every day, on purpose. And slowly, you'll feel the shift. You'll stop surviving. You'll stop comparing. You'll stop asking, why am I always behind? Because you'll realize you're not behind anymore. You're just finally moving in your own direction. And that direction, that's what you were missing. Let me tell you about someone you don't know. Not a celebrity, not a best-selling author, just someone like you. 3 years ago, he was stuck. Every day felt the same. Wake up tired, work a job that felt like a cage, come home to silence. He wasn't failing. Exactly. He was functioning. People thought he was fine, but inside, he felt like he was slowly dissolving into a version of himself he didn't recognize. He told himself to push through, to be grateful, to smile more, complain less. But the truth was he felt invisible, not just to the world, but to himself. One day, after another numb morning of scrolling through his phone and watching strangers live the life he wanted, he asked himself a question. What if I just stop pretending? Not stop trying, not give up, but stop pretending. Pretending to be okay with just okay. Pretending he didn't care. Pretending he didn't want more. So he did one thing. He got a notebook and wrote one sentence at the top of the page. What would my life look like if I started being honest? He didn't post it. He didn't announce it. He didn't turn it into a project. He just wrote. And every day after that, he wrote one more thing. One truth, one question, one decision. No pressure to change it all. Just the commitment to no longer lie to himself. A month later, He started saying no to weekend plans he didn't enjoy. 2 months later, he enrolled in a short course, not to change careers, but to remember what it felt like to be curious again. 3 months in, he talked to his manager, not to quit, just to speak up for the first time in years, to admit that he wanted something different, and he wasn't sure what it was yet, but he was ready to start looking. It was slow, quiet, awkward, and sometimes painful, but it was real, and after a year, he wasn't behind anymore. He wasn't wildly successful either, but he was aligned, grounded, moving in his own direction, not because he had all the answers, but because he stopped running from the questions. His smile came back, not the one he wore for others, but the one that came from knowing he wasn't faking it anymore, that someone could be you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need a 10-step plan or a dramatic comeback story. You just need one moment of honesty with yourself and the courage to let that moment lead you. Don't underestimate what 1 year of truth can do. 1 year of tiny shifts. 1 year of listening, choosing, changing. You're not too late. You're just on the edge of something real, and the first step is always the smallest one.